Okay guys, this is the third try trying to film this. I'm not kidding. Both times my battery has died on me for some weird reason, but I think I got it figured out, so fingers crossed, knock on wood. Here we go. First year at Atlantic. I did that second year video and some of you were asking, what does first year look like? So I'm gonna do a quick rundown. Quick. So yeah, so I'm gonna start with classes and then I'll talk a little bit about some fun things that happened first year and just like some overview stuff. So your first class is movement, and if you are so beyond lucky, you'll have it with Renee Redding-Jones, who is just an angel. And movement is kind of two parts, so three parts. First semester, it's a lot of yoga. So Renee, or whoever your teacher is, will take you through learning different yoga poses until you kind of have the ability to create your own routine and your own practice. And they enter into it very gently. It's not rushed, it's very simple, it's very clear, and it's really fun because it's challenging and it's difficult, but it's also great to get out some of your energy, especially when you're starting college and you've moved probably, or you're not living at home or just starting college. You might be a little panicked or have feeling a lot of things, and it's sometimes good to get out some of that energy. And each class starts with meditation, which is such a useful tool, I think, for centering your mind and just like getting you in the right mode. And Renee will take you through and give you lots of different ways to do that, some guided, some breathing, some with actually like coloring or journaling. It's so fun, it's so great. Yeah, and then so you'll learn meditation, then you'll learn some yoga, and you'll get more advanced as you go. And you'll learn sun salutation, which is kind of a flow through, which is yoga poses with meditation a little bit. And then after that, second semester, or well, okay, sorry, getting jumbled. First semester as well, you'll also start integrating some improv. So you might, once you have kind of your established yoga warm-up down, you might kind of do that and then move into some improv. And so your teacher might give you two dynamics to play with. So it might be, for example, big and slow. So then you and your ensemble would look at, okay, how do we move big and slow? And how do you do that with your entire body? You know, and looking at that. Or it might be fast and small and looking at little ways to do that with all of your body parts. And it's really fun and it's great like ensemble building, and you do a lot of that. This class really is kind of a group heart building class. You really get to know your ensemble in a different way in this course because you're putting your body in their hands, which is a very vulnerable thing to be doing, and there's lots of different exercises like that. And then what I was going to say is second semester you start doing some cardio. So cardio is incredible. I really enjoyed it. I know some people did not. It is difficult. It is a lot, but it's a lot of fun, weirdly, I thought, just because I liked getting to like, my ensemble was really great. We really like would encourage each other, and we'd like know which stations everyone like hated, so when they were there we could be like, you got this. And the first day is atrocious. We had people who like couldn't finish. We had one person I think who vomited. This is like not to scare you, it's not that bad, but it is like a rude awakening, and then it gets easier and easier, but you know, get ready for a roller coaster. And that starts to kind of challenge your respiration, which is something that then when I talked about in Suzuki second year is really built upon. And then how do we challenge our respiration and put it under distress and then continue to produce sound. Yeah, so that's a little bit about movement. And script analysis is next. So script analysis is, I would say, like the very classical like core of Atlantic. It's like your bread and butter, it's your basics. Yeah, so your first day at studio, your entire class. This is not your studio group, which I explained. You guys, your whole year gets broken down into about 4 or 5 different little groups, and those are your studio groups. But this is your entire year sits down in a room, Studio 4, and your script analysis teacher, who hopefully will be Jacqueline Landgraf, will come in and kind of break down the 4 steps to practical aesthetics, which are outlined in an actor's practical hand guide. And you'll walk through that as an entire year, so you'll all enter with the same knowledge on your first day of classes. And when you're in your first day of classes with your studio group, you guys will get to ask some questions, you'll look at some example scenes with Jacqueline, and then into the deep end. There's no way around it. You just got to get your hands dirty and get going. So what you do throughout the year is a 1-minute scene, a 3-minute scene, a 5-minute scene, and a 10-minute scene. Yeah, so your 1-minute scene is the first thing you do, obviously, and this will be your first chance to really kind of work with the technique and give your first stab at analysis. And all of the scenes that you'll be doing first year will be from contemporary texts. So no Shakespeare, no Chekhov, none of that. Everything will be from modern playwrights. So this can be a little bit daunting. I know for me it was difficult to find material because I wasn't that familiar with plays. I knew a lot of like Shakespeare, but I came more from a musical background than anything else. So I knew a ton of musicals, but straight plays I was like, our town, is that? It wasn't that bad, but so, and I wasn't alone. A lot of people are that way. So if that's you, don't even worry about it. But if you're not here yet, if you're watching this and it's maybe the summer before or even a year before, start reading as many straight plays as you can so you can get ideas, you know? Yeah. So, and then in the first week, if you have time to like preemptive strike the problem of needing to find material, run to the Drama bookstore. It's near Times Square. You can look it up. It's just got shelves and shelves and shelves and shelves of plays, and they have chairs everywhere, and you can sit down and literally read entire plays in that store. And that'll help you so that then when they're like, okay, pick your 1 minute and who's going next class, and you're like, next class, the one in 2 days? You want someone to, okay, you'll have a game plan. And talk to second years and third years. Reach out to people because we now have more breadth of knowledge of good plays to be working on. And what I would say is you always want to be working on good material that excites you, that you want to work on. But if there's a piece that you are absolutely dying to work on, that you are absolutely in love with, this is your play, you claim this play, don't use it for your 1 minute. Hang on to it for that 5-minute or the 10-minute, or possibly even for your through line second year, which you can go hear about in that other video. Just so that if that really is like your heart center, you're getting to really dig into it. Because that first, the 1 minute goes super fast. The 3 minutes a little more juicy, and then after that it's more depth. Voice class. Oh, and one more thing about script analysis. So script analysis is very much like by the book rules of practical aesthetics, and like I said, it's like our classical training, so that then in your other courses we can kind of screw with the technique and be like, yeah, we get the rules, we understand them, totally get it, but like, what if we try that or this, or what about this? Because it's like you need to know the rules so you can break them. So just, all right, so now voice. So voice I talked about a little bit in that second year video. And it's similar, but also not at all. So first years are just working with the Chuck Jones warm-up, flow-through. And that's in Make Your Voice Heard. You can go look that book up. You'll be reading it. It's a full body, full voice warm-up. And but you'll start so slowly. And if you're lucky, you'll have Katie Bull, who is incredible. She has this like I don't really like see auras in people, but like if anyone had an aura, it would be her, and hers would be like yellow sunshine and purple lavender. It's incredible. She just like gets people. She can like look at you and be like, I understand. I understand you. And so your first couple weeks are going to be a lot of laying on a yoga mat and breathing. That's it. That's all you're going to do. Or if you get really advanced, she might let you drop and release if you're really lucky. And it really is because you have to learn how to let go of the things that you're holding in your body so that then we can enter into the work without that, and so that we understand what it is we're working towards in this warm-up, which is working towards letting go of any like holding or gripping that we have in our bodies. I found this class extremely, I don't know, maybe not frustrating, but it was my least favorite class at the beginning because I didn't understand it. I didn't understand why I was being asked to just lay on a yoga mat. I was so confused. I didn't understand. And just sitting there and breathing, and I was like, I want to learn how to act. How is this? And I didn't understand it, and it quickly evolved to become my favorite class. So give it time, and I would say that for all of your courses. And that's what I did. I didn't understand it, but I was like, I'm just gonna keep doing this weirdness that I don't think is helping, but I'll keep doing it. And then it was like, oh, I understand. So if any class you walk into and you're like, I don't know about this one, just try to keep that open mind, open heart, because it might turn into your favorite. Yeah. And then speech. So speech I also touched on in that second year video, but first year you guys are not doing dialects. No dialects yet. You guys are starting with the good old basics of Speak with Distinction by Edith Skinner. So, I spoke to this in the second year video, but what this does is basically break down language, you know? It goes through and looks at, okay, let's look at the word the, right? So the, right? That's two sounds. So it's the and which is a schwa. And then, so it looks at, okay, so I understand that. How could we write that so that every time we're sure we're saying the not versus if you were needing to say the e as in Lee versus a schwa. It's being able to write that distinction and to choose in your script, in your scoring, how you're going to say a word. And it's also a tool if there is a word from a different time, or if you are working on Shakespeare eventually and being like, that's a weird word that I don't use, I don't know how to say that, then it's like, okay, but I understand these symbols, so I can say it. So the first thing you'll do in that class is kind of funny, or daunting, I don't know, a mix of the two. So you'll learn the vowel sounds, so and e are vowel sounds, but then there's th, right? That is what we call a consonant sound. And so there's a bunch of them, there's 26, and you've got to learn these so fast, so they literally will ask you to memorize this whole grouping of words, I hope you can see this right now, in about a night. And you'll be like, what? But you can do it and it's fine. And once you have that, you can really start to dig in, so you need that. So you'll get that fast and dirty, and then you'll go into the vowel sounds, and you'll look at single vowel sounds, you look at diphthongs, which is 2 vowel sounds, triphthongs, 3 vowel sounds, and then once you have all of the sounds, you'll start looking at, okay, great, I know some sounds. Now how do I use that? And you'll start working on sonnets or pieces of text. We worked a little bit on the Raven, and what you'll do is you'll learn how to take a chunk of text and to lay it out as what we call a score, and to choose what sounds you're making. And you'll look at things like stressed syllables or unstressed syllables. Are you going to say to be or not to be? Are you going to do to be or not to be? Are you going to do, I don't know, I can't think of any more. That was a bad line to use. But where you're putting that emphasis on words, are you gonna do an upward inflection, or are you gonna do a downward inflection? Looking at that kind of stuff. And so you'll really be able to like dissect a script and choose exactly what you want to do, and then you'll get up, you'll be on your feet, and you'll try it out in front of your classmates, and we'll see like what stuck around from the plan, what didn't stick around, what do we want to keep, what do we want to change. So yeah, speak with distinction. Speech class. Okay, Moment Lab. This was such a fun class. I loved this class. I love this class. This is definitely in my favorites. Voice and Moment Lab might have had to fight it out. Moment Lab is so hard to describe. It really is, because as corny as it sounds, it's really about how to be in the present moment. So how do I let go of, oh my gosh, I messed up that scene yesterday, I'm thinking about that, I need to work on that, oh my gosh, yeah, no, I'm pained, I need to work on that. Or, man, I wonder what I'm gonna have for dinner tonight. Like, I wonder what I'll be doing. No, I'm here, I'm painted. I'm trying to think about if I'm gonna. So it's how do you be right here with the person in front of you who you are with, and how do you take them in, and then how do you go a step further and then start to read them and to be able to be like, huh, I see what's going on with you, I understand, and then let me change to get what I want in a scene, because I'm in the moment with you and I understand what you're giving me, and so I can use that to change my tactics. But like, of course, that's not how you learn it. So this is another one where, like, be patient, practice patience, because it may seem at the beginning like you're like, what is the point of this? I don't understand how doing this thing and this, I don't get it. And that's okay. Just blindly follow. Just take the leap. And I think it was one of my favorite classes because you don't have to have anything prepared. There is no syllabus really. You just show up, and all you have to do is be there and be in the moment. And every class is a new adventure and activity, and it's so fun and challenging, and it really comes up against those habits that you might have. Sorry, breathing. I was, in my first year, it really helped me because when I wanted something from my scene partner, really desperately, and I was given blocking that I couldn't move, so I wouldn't move, but instead I would go like, come on, you have to do this, I really want you to do this, you need to do this, and I would totally sacrifice my alignment to like show how much I wanted something. And so this class helped to identify that, and then was able to actually give me those hands-on corrections. And everyone has little holds, and whether it's a physical hold or an emotional hold, this course is going to find it. PT, performance technique, taught by the lovely, lovely Hillary Hinkle. Wow, what a woman, what a woman. So in performance technique, this is kind of what we call the like gym class of practical aesthetics. You'll also be working on scenes in this course, but you're also going to be doing exercises to kind of like build your acting muscles and find your way into scenes in a little bit of different ways, whether that be physically or through a kind of game that gets you reading each other and in the moment. It's a bunch of fun. So first semester you work on scenes, and then second semester what you do is two parts. So you do externals. So you'll do external scenes, and what an external is any thing that kind of physically manifests in the character. So like a gunshot wound would be a pretty intense external, or like tuberculosis, how that cough manifests, how that affects you. If you had like an eye twitch, if anything like that can manifest, or anything that is a mental inhibitor that would affect your mannerisms and perhaps your speech. So you'll get to look at that. And then after that is the best part, in my opinion, of PT, possibly of first year, is wildcards. So you guys are going to sit down as your group, and you're going to get to pick literally whatever material you want to work on. Up to this point, you've only been working on plays, straight plays, nothing else. Now, you could do musicals, TV shows, movies, songs, like poems probably, anything you can think of. You can do stuff in a foreign language. I got to work on a Downton Abbey scene. I did Falling Slowly from Once, where my partner Evan taught me how to play that piano piece in like a weekend. It was crazy and so fun, and he was so patient. Thank you. I did a scene in French with my friend Zoe. I'm sure I did more. It's so fun. You can really work on whatever you want to work on, and that's such a great ensemble building moment, because you might be in like, I was gonna say 30, you won't be in 30, but you might be in like 5 different things in like a week or 2, and you're just like gonna have to all work together to get them up. So much fun. And then games. So games is only second semester, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It's games. You're gonna go in and you're gonna play games. Zip Zap Zop, Splat Bang, some more unconventional ones like Donut, Star Tag, all sorts of games. I'm trying to think of the name of one of them. There's one that's like, you make animal noises. Like everyone stands and you all close your eyes, and then everyone has to like make animal noises, and if you can guess who it is, they're out. I can't remember it. That was random. And this is really to alleviate some of the second semester stress that builds up. Second semester is tougher than first semester. Not to say that either is simple, but the work really does ramp up. Once you get to those wild cards and to your 10-minute scene, you're gonna feel the work. You're gonna feel the work, and it's nice to have the games class to let off some steam with your group. But for me, because I am like a, why aren't we working, why aren't we rehearsing, can we please do the work? It was a little difficult to give myself that time to be like, we're just gonna play a game? That's it? Yeah, so try to like really let yourself have that time and embrace it, because it might be the only break time you really get. Yeah, so those are all the classes. You have each of them twice a week for the most part. Sometimes there's one that'll go to like once a week, or something weird will happen. And this was just my year's schedule. The schedule changes like every year, because they really respond to what students are saying, which is awesome, and work with their teachers to always be evolving. So your courses might be different. The ones I would say that are always going to be there are script analysis, voice, and speech. The other ones, meh. Yeah. And at the end of each semester, first years get to do final scene day. And final scene day is super fun, and it feels so stressful your first, or not stressful, but it feels very big, you know, as a first year, and it definitely is. But then once you get to second year, you're like, that was nothing. That was, I didn't even, wow. You're like, and I thought that was stressful. And it is. So like, definitely like, that is such a huge moment for you, but just don't let it freak you out too much, just because it's, in the grand scheme of things, it's a pretty small drop in the bucket. But what'll happen is you'll be probably at the New World stage, so you'll actually go to a full theater, and you'll get to do about 1.5 minutes, I think, of either your script analysis or your PT scene that you're currently working on. And you'll do that in front of everyone. So all of the faculty, all of the first years, second years, and third years, which is really exciting. And it goes really fast because there's so many first years to get through. And it's really just kind of a big celebration of like, ah, you did it. So that's super fun. I'm trying to think of other things I wanted to say. Oh yeah. Second semester, first year, whoa. Motorcycle gun. You'll have the opportunity to audition for Vermont. Vermont is a summer program that takes place in Louisiana, no, Vermont. And you'll be housed at UVM if you go, and it's incredible. It is incredible. If you can go, if there's any way that you can make it work. Hey guys, sorry my camera cut out. So Vermont, so yeah, if you can go, you gotta go. So it's a 3-week intensive, and each week, so So in the morning, from about, I think it's like 8 to 12:30, you do movement. And movement is learning the daily dozen and the standing alignment from Meg Eganton. You can go look her up. And I think in one of my, I want to say it was a what I ate in a day video, I showed a little bit of that. And yeah, and she will work you hard. Yeah, wow, get ready to work. And then you'll have lunch, and then in the afternoon from 1:30, she thinks, to like 6, I think it is, maybe 6:30. You'll be with Scott Ziegler. I can't remember if I already said it, so sorry if I have, but one of the founding members who helped write Practical Handbook, the Actor's Guide. So you'll be with him in the afternoon, and each week you guys will work on different genres. So in the first week, it's kind of older pieces. He'll give you a certain like time period it has to be before. I worked on All My Sons at Danielle, which was a blast. Second week is comedy, which is incredible. It's great. You just get to laugh for like 6 hours. And then last week is non-realism and heightened text. So that can be Shakespeare, that could be Beckett, that could be any of that kind of stuff. And it's incredible. Scott is so good at applying the technique and making sure that it's something that you can then take ownership of, and that it's not like a quick fix to just get a fast product, but that it's something you really feel that you can then be like, oh yeah, I had that problem. Now I understand how I can, in my own work, facilitate that change. And it's incredible, and it's challenging. It is a tough intensive. You're going to be exhausted, barely making it through, getting up, doing your homework, going back to bed, that's all. And you'll be living in the dorms with everyone, which is nice for rehearsals because you're all right there. And you're in beautiful Vermont. Burlington, Vermont is gorgeous. It is so beautiful. There's a little town. You guys will walk down and get food some nights. There's a Ben and Jerry's, which was my bae while I was there. They have vegan options, bless them. And the sky turns like cotton candy pink at night. It's beautiful. Everything's so green. And at the beginning and the end of the program, you guys have a big barbecue with Scott and Meg. They come, and it's such a blast. It's so much fun. It's so much work, but it's so worth it. I don't think I've learned as much as fast at any other point in time. Yeah, so I just have to say, like, if you can, go. Yeah, so that's a bit about first year. If there's any questions, if there's anything that I missed, just let me know. Leave me some comments down below. I'd be so happy to answer them for you. Is there anything else you were curious about Atlantic? Anything else you want to see about Tisch or anything? Let me know. And if you're coming to Atlantic, definitely say hi. Yeah, hope you guys are having a great morning, evening,